Dave Chappelle is one of the most influential comedians of all time, but his story isn't really about fame. It's about walking away from it. While most entertainers chase Hollywood, Chappelle chose something radically different: silence, land, in a small town in Ohio. And that decision changed comedy forever. In this video, we explore the untold story behind Dave Chappelle's life, from his early days grinding open mics, to redefining sketch comedy with Chappelle Show, to turning down a reported $50 million deal at the height of his success. We'll take you inside his Ohio farm, his creative process, his values, his business empire, and the philosophy that guides everything he does. This isn't just a biography. It's a study of independence, ownership, and what success really means in a world obsessed with attention. Whether you're a fan of comedy, creativity, or personal freedom, Dave Chappelle's journey offers lessons far beyond the stage. This is the story of a man who stepped away and came back with more power than ever. Dave Chappelle was born in Washington, D.C., and raised in Silver Spring, Maryland, a place that exposed him early to politics, culture, and contradiction. His parents were both educators, and intellectual conversation was normal at the dinner table. Comedy wasn't just entertainment, it was a way to process reality. As a child, Chappelle spent summers in Yellow Springs, Ohio, with his father, a contrast to city life that quietly shaped his sense of balance. While other kids watched cartoons, Dave studied Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and George Carlin. He wasn't just laughing, he was analyzing timing, truth, and fearlessness. By his early teens, Chappelle knew comedy wasn't a hobby. It was a calling. He began performing stand-up while still in high school, often getting booed, bombed, and humbled, but never discouraged. Those early failures taught him something critical. Comedy demands honesty, not approval. Long before the fame, the farm, or the fortune, Dave Chappelle was already building the foundation of what would become one of the most distinctive voices in modern entertainment. Breaking into comedy isn't glamorous, and Dave Chappelle learned that fast. As a teenager, he snuck into clubs, performed for disinterested crowds, and absorbed rejection nightly. But what separated him wasn't confidence, it was persistence. Everything changed when Chappelle appeared on Def Comedy Jam in the early 1990s. His delivery was calm, almost conversational, yet fearless. He didn't shout, he didn't beg for laughs. He let the truth do the work. Industry insiders immediately took notice. Soon after, Chappelle landed a legendary performance at Harlem's Apollo Theater, a venue famous for destroying unprepared comedians. He didn't just survive, he won the crowd. That moment signaled his arrival. Opportunities followed quickly: TV appearances, development deals, and meetings with executives who saw him as the next big thing. But even then, Chappelle sensed the industry's hidden rules, especially for young black comedians. He was breaking in, but he was also learning how the system worked, and more importantly, how it could try to own you if you let it. Hollywood came calling fast. Dave Chappelle appeared in Robin Hood, Men in Tights, The Nutty Professor, and eventually became the face of cult classic Half-Baked. His name was rising, but something felt off. Despite visibility, Chappelle often felt boxed into stereotypes or used as comedic seasoning rather than the main dish. Scripts were rewritten, ideas were diluted, power lived everywhere except with the artist. Still, these years mattered. Hollywood taught Chappelle how studios think, how money moves, and how creativity can be compromised behind closed doors. He was learning the business, sometimes painfully. Half-Baked became a fan favorite, but Chappelle later admitted it wasn't fully his vision. That realization planted a seed. If he wanted true creative freedom, he'd need ownership. Hollywood gave him exposure, but it also showed him the cost of success without control. And Dave Chappelle was already planning his next move, even if no one else could see it yet. When Chappelle's Show debuted in 2003, it didn't just succeed, it detonated. Sketches like Rick James, Clayton Bigsby, and The Player Hater's Ball became instant cultural language. The show was raw, uncomfortable, hilarious, and dangerously honest. It tackled race, politics, fame, and hypocrisy with surgical precision. Comedy Central had a phenomenon, and Chappelle had leverage. But success came with pressure. The faster the show grew, the more Chappelle questioned how his work was being interpreted and who was laughing for the wrong reasons. Behind the scenes, exhaustion and creative concern mounted. The jokes were powerful, but the machine surrounding them was relentless. Chappelle began to feel disconnected from his own work. Then came the decision that shocked the industry. He walked away. No farewell tour, no press run, just silence. At the peak of cultural dominance, Dave Chappelle disappeared, leaving behind the most successful sketch show of its era. In 2005, Dave Chappelle walked away from a reported $50 million deal. To Hollywood, it was madness. To Chappelle, it was survival. Burned out, misunderstood, and wary of losing his voice, he left the spotlight and returned to Ohio. The headlines speculated wildly, but the truth was simpler. He chose peace over pressure. Ohio wasn't an escape, it was a reset. On quiet roads and open land, Chappelle reconnected with himself, away from cameras, contracts, and expectations. This moment redefined success in entertainment. Chappelle proved that walking away can be an act of power, not weakness. He didn't quit comedy, he reclaimed it. While others chased relevance, Dave Chappelle chose clarity, and that choice would eventually make his return even more impactful. Mornings in Ohio looked different for Dave Chappelle. No paparazzi, no assistants rushing schedules, just land, silence, and space to think. Yellow Springs isn't a retreat, it's home. The town values privacy, creativity, and community. Here, Chappelle isn't a celebrity, he's a neighbor. This environment fuels his comedy. Away from Hollywood noise, he observes culture with distance and depth. Ideas form naturally without deadlines. Ohio gave Chappelle what fame couldn't: control of time. And time for an artist is everything. Chappelle's 65-acre farm is more than property. It's philosophy. The land includes a farmhouse, barns, open fields, and spaces designed for thinking, not flexing. There's no luxury spectacle here, just freedom. The farm allows him to create without interruption and host people without intrusion. This space represents ownership, not just of land, but of life. It's where ideas mature before ever reaching a stage. Instead of traditional venues, Chappelle hosts pop-up shows in cornfields, barns, and small clubs. Phones locked, energy focused, he brings comedians, musicians, and neighbors together, rebuilding comedy as a shared experience. These shows aren't about scale, they're about connection. And they remind audiences what live performance is supposed to feel like. When Dave Chappelle returned, he didn't chase relevance, he commanded it. Netflix specials, sold-out tours, Emmys, Grammys. But the material was sharper, older, more reflective. This wasn't a comeback, it was a continuation on his terms. The audience came to him, and comedy changed again. Chappelle now controls his work. Netflix deals, touring revenue, and production ownership keep power where it belongs, with the artist. He doesn't just perform, he negotiates, and he wins. From a G-Wagon to a Ducati, Chappelle's collection is practical, not flashy. Tools, not trophies. Like everything else, the machines serve freedom, not image. From education funding to pandemic-era shows supporting local workers, Chappelle reinvests where he lives. Ohio gave him peace. He gives back stability. Chappelle is private by design, husband, father, Muslim, grounded. Faith gives structure, family gives perspective. Fame comes last. Chappelle uses comedy as civic commentary, endorsing candidates, questioning power, and forcing conversation. He doesn't preach, he provokes thought. No costumes, no polish, just a mic and truth. Chappelle rejects celebrity aesthetics because authenticity is his brand. Success isn't money, it's ownership, peace, and legacy. Dave Chappelle didn't just win the game, he rewrote the rules. Dave Chappelle's story isn't about comedy alone, it's about courage. The courage to walk away, to slow down, and to define success on your own terms. In a world obsessed with visibility, he chose invisibility. And in doing so, he gained something far more valuable than fame: control. Ohio didn't limit Dave Chappelle, it liberated him. The land gave him clarity, the distance gave him perspective, and the silence gave him power. Today, he stands not just as a comedian, but as a modern folk figure. Someone who reminds us that success doesn't always mean more. Sometimes it means less noise, fewer voices, and deeper roots. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because some stories aren't about chasing the spotlight. They're about stepping out of it and finding yourself there.